And now, a story from the Appleseed.
You know, I want to thank the Appleseed for having me. As I travel around, I am welcomed with open arms in so many places. Even this week, just here in Utah, I was in Vernal and I arrived to a beautiful hotel room, a basket filled with homemade banana bread and apples and water and just such care. And they picked us up and took us to dinner. I mean, as storytellers, we truly live a goodly life. Musicians on the road, they don't get this kind of treatment, not as B-level artists, which we are. I think we actually might be lower than that, but it's seriously, we get treated really well. Festivals I go to, they put flowers in my room, or they constantly call me and ask me, do I need anything? Or they assign a host to me to make sure I'm taken care of. I mean, when you are welcomed in a place that you've never been to, or with people you may only see once a year, every other year, can be really overwhelmingly wonderful. And then we do our shows. This is one of the few jobs where you get approval and adoration through applause and laughter every few minutes, maybe even seconds. I never have gone out and waited for the garbage man and applauded him and said, "Great job," you know? Even at restaurants, I might say to the kitchen if I have a chance to pop in, "Thank you, everything was great," but I don't walk back there and applaud and laugh and go, "You're wonderful," right? And we sit here, and for the time that we have together, right, even in this moment, the fact that you've planned this, you have taken and looked at your schedule and said, "I want to be there to hear her talk and talk and talk and talk," right? But it's an honor. And it's just a big deal. And so then when we have those shows that go really well, and trust me, you know, me and my buddy storytellers that travel all the time, we talk about our bad shows where our timing's off, we don't feel good, we're jet lagged, whatever. And we're like, oh man, I'm going to forget that one. But then there are the ones where our timing is on, the audience like you is lovely, you're responsive, and you forget that you're even performing. You feel like you're just hanging out, and you just leave stage and go, ooh, that's going in my pocket for a bad day, right? And then after that show, you come out to the table and you share your stories with me and want to hang out and hug me, and you buy my stuff, you know, off the table. And I'm telling you, living in that kind of world, it can create a false reality because that is not the normal life. I want you to go to the next town over and just go up to somebody and say, "Please welcome me." And see if they hand you banana bread, water, and offer to take you to dinner. It doesn't happen. And so we, in our job, can really live in a false reality. And when we get done traveling and being loved and cared for and applauded, and they think I'm funny, they laugh at everything, because my husband just kind of goes, "You've already told me that joke." And, you know, we can get high on ourselves, which is legal in every state, by the way. And, and it can do things to you. It can make you think that you are capable of things you should not be doing. I liken it to going to the amusement park. It's very similar. That false reality of the amusement park, it's very parallel to the false reality of what I do for a living in a way. You know, a lot of what I do is fully authentic, but then there's this world that is not replicated outside of this. And I liken it to going to the amusement park. You think you can do things you shouldn't. You start doing things that you've never done. For instance, let me give an example. I don't care which one, Disney World, Harry Potter World, whatever you want to talk about, no matter where you go, the county fair, when you pull in, you know, you got a bottle of water and you're drinking it, and that's fine. But suddenly when you walk in and you smell the cotton candy and you hear the music of the carousel and you start to move into this false reality, you think, you know what? A bottle of water is not good enough. I do need a 640-ounce hot pink cup with a polar bear on the front and a 5-foot twirly straw, right? Because that's something you see every day in the real world. You walk in and the magic of the place, you walked in with a cute hat like yours, right? And that hat was fine this morning. But when you walk through that amusement park and you smell the smells, see the sights, hear the magic, suddenly you're like, you know what? I do think my whole life I've wanted a 4-foot-tall Dr. Seuss hat. Some of us even begin to think the wand works. We get into key teacups that spin and create a centrifugal force that brings up meals from 3 weeks ago, and we laugh about it. We get on roller coasters that go 65 miles an hour with just a bar in front of us that was checked daily by a guy named Hank who really just wants to retire. So what I'm saying is, just like an amusement park, what it does to us, that false reality that makes us do things that are crazy. Like, for instance, you arrive there arguing with your husband about where you're going to park. And he's like, I've parked fine my whole life till I met you. I didn't know I was a bad parker. Well, now you know, and I'm telling you, you need to park. But when you enter that magical world, suddenly you're like, oh, I do want to get an airbrush license plate proclaiming our love to put on the back of our car. We will be together forever. He is my prince. It's weird. And it happens to us in this job. Example. I was down in Walhalla, South Carolina. It was great. Man, did they treat us good. We had a phenomenal meal. My lodging was lovely. They were super welcoming. And it was just one of those great shows. It was just a great show. The audience was really invested, really responsive. I was on. My timing was good. My throat, I had a good, strong voice that night. Everything was just great. Didn't mess up. No chord mess. It was just great. And when I was done, got good applause. And I'm like, man, I am feeling good. And that night we hung out and talked for a while, ended the festival just beautifully, got up, and I was time to drive home. And as I'm driving home, I'm like, man, I am so high on myself. They love me. I am feeling so good. And I thought, you know what? I can do just about anything. So I called up my stylist, don't judge her, and I said, Sammy, I said, I'm coming home, and I was just thinking, I'm going to cancel that Tuesday appointment. And she said, why? I said, because I think I can dye my own eyebrows. And she said, what? I said, I can dye my own eyebrows. I'm like a hairless chihuahua. It's there, but I'm very blonde. And I'm kind of just lightly dyed so that, I don't look like I shaved them off. And she said, why do you think you can do that? I've been doing that forever. And I'm like, I had a really good weekend and they loved me. And I know that I can do it. I just feel really good. She's like, fine, call me when you're done. So I went home and I was stoked. When I got home, I dropped my luggage, threw it into the washer, and I went to my daughter's bedroom and I got some leftover hair dye that I knew she had. She's more brunette, but I thought I'll just have the time. That'll be fine. And then I went to YouTube because that's where you always go when you need to learn something. And so I watched videos about plucking my eyebrows, make sure it doesn't go past here and make sure the point is here. And so I started plucking until it looked like somebody just slapped my eyebrows. And then I started looking in proper way to dye your eyebrows, and I watched some videos on that, but then I saw a dolphin rescue video, and then I started watching things about dolphins, and then on the side of watching dolphins, a video popped up of a praying mantis eating a hummingbird, and that was mind-blowing. So I went down that rabbit hole for an hour. Finally, when I was done, I was ready. I went into the bathroom and I washed my face, and then I mixed up the hair dye and I put it on my eyebrows after I'd patted them dry, and I waited the allotted time, 12 minutes, half the time of what you would normally do if you were a brunette. I was so pumped. I went in there when it was done, when the timer went off, and I leaned over the sink and I put tepid warm water and I washed them, and I didn't wash them, no soap, just water. I dabbed them with the towel. And when I looked in the mirror, there she was, Phyllis Diller. My husband said I looked angry for 3 weeks. Every time I walked in the room, he'd go, what? What did I do? Well, you think I would have learned then that this loving world that I am in as a performing storyteller does not give me a ticket to do whatever I want to do. But I did not learn, because that's just the way of the Kim. It takes a lot to teach me something. And this was a bad one. I was in Williamsburg at the Kimball Theater. Oh, the lodging, stellar. So good. And it was swank, right? Because I know it was swanky because nothing was bolted down. And it was a lovely room. I even got to go to the Williamsburg Spa. I love Williamsburg. And I was feeling so famous. And I went to the back of the Kimball and they put me in a green room, and it was a nice full theater. And man, the whole thing came together. Those moments are so good that you save, right? And the show went wonderful. And when I was done, I was just feeling really high on myself. And I went back to the hotel and I walked in, and that's when my eye saw that in the bathroom was a scale. And I thought, I'm feeling good. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're over 50 in this room, you know losing any weight's kind of a big deal, right? And I know you're in here because I feel the heat coming off of you. And when you get on a scale over 50, it's like, and especially if you're a voluptuous woman like me, the lazy boy version, it's like gone to Vegas. It's like, am I going to win? Am I going to lose? It's so exciting. And so I'm like, I'm feeling so good from that show. I'm going to get on a scale. So I went in, took off my shoes. I pretty much stripped down because every ounce counts. And I got, that's funny, every ounce counts. I'm making a t-shirt. And I got on that scale and I had lost 4 pounds. I was like, I had such a good weekend and I lost 4 pounds. Man, I got in the car and on the way home, I was like, I need to do something about this because I'm feeling really good because I had a good weekend and I lost 4 pounds. And on the way home, I knew what I was going to do. I thought, you know what? When I land at home, I'm going to just rest up. And then the next day, I'm going to go down to the sporting goods store and I'm going to get me some jeggings. Some leggings, those things I've been seeing women wear. I got myself a pair of hot pink ones with black slashes all over them. I got a pair of black ones that had gray netting up the side. I'm telling you, I made those things push out like sausage casing. I got a brand new white shirt. I got myself some new kicks, and I'm like, I'm going to get changed and go down. I put on the gray ones with that little bit of like mesh on the side. You know, I really look like I got them from Guns N' Roses, but I had put on the white t-shirt, the shoes, and I was walking downtown. I love my downtown. And as I was walking downtown, there were cars going by, and they were blowing the horn, and I'm like, I know. I look good because I had a good weekend, and I lost. I turned the corner and was walking down through the green space. Cars were going by, teenagers hanging out the side window, taking pictures with their phone. I'm like, I know. I look good, and I lost. I made it across the square, turned, and that's when I caught a glimpse of myself in the plate glass window. There's only 3 things that tell the truth, people. Children, drunks, and leggings. But it was okay because it was a bakery window. I went in and bought a cinnamon roll the size of my head, went home, enjoyed it, peeled off those leggings, and I know that there was seismic occurrences of what fell out onto the ground, took off the clothing, gave it to Goodwill. I'm telling you, a week later, I saw a woman walking downtown in a pair of those pink leggings and I put the window down. I'm like, you look good. Wear them proud. So you see, in this world, all of the love and all the applause can make us live in a false reality. But I'm not going to lie to you. I love the applause. Nobody gets on stage on a regular basis, weekly, daily, with a microphone, and they don't like applause. If someone says that, say, stop your false humility. We know you love the applause. It's okay. It's a safe space. Be yourself. I love applause. The definition of applause in the dictionary is approval, adoration, recognition. When I get applause, every cell in my body vibrates like a bell. And bells are good. Think about it. When bells ring, the dead are remembered. When bells ring, birds fly. When bells ring, we have hope. You know, as we move forward into a trembling future, one of the easiest things we can do to plow the earth of our relationships with each other, whether it be in our home, next door, in our community, in our country, in our world, is to applaud each other, to take the time to speak edification, to take the time to verbally applaud somebody. It cost nothing to ring that bell. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for a story from the Appleseed.